Warm greetings to those who are truly searching, not just hearing with the ears, but listening with the spirit. If you've found yourself here, it's likely because life has nudged you toward a deeper hunger, one that books and lectures alone can't satisfy. 1. When knowledge stops being enough. There comes a moment in every journey when knowledge alone is no longer enough. You can read another book, attend another seminar, even memorize quotes. But inside, something still feels empty. I remember a time when I devoured every self-help book I could get my hands on. For a while, it felt like progress. But one day, sitting in my room with stacks of books around me, I realized I was full of words, but starving for transformation. That was the turning point. 2. The answers are already within. The answers you're chasing aren't out there. They're already whispering within, waiting for your silence. Think of standing by a noisy street. You can't hear the bird that's been singing above your head the whole time. The bird never stopped singing. The noise just drowned it out. In the same way, your inner wisdom has always been there. It just needs your stillness. 3. The urge to shout your breakthroughs. When you uncover a powerful truth about yourself, your first instinct is to share it, to tell everyone, to prove your discovery. That urge is natural but often premature. Imagine baking bread. You pull it out too soon, slice it open, and the dough inside is still raw. That's what happens when we share our wisdom before it's fully baked inside us. 4. Why silence protects your growth. Some truths are like seeds. They don't grow when pulled up and displayed too soon. They need protection, quiet, and time to take root. A friend once confided her dream to launch a small business. Excited, she told everyone right away. The discouragement she faced was so heavy that she abandoned her dream before it had a chance to grow. Later, she admitted, if I had kept it quiet and nurtured it first, I think I'd still be doing it today. 5. Ego versus wisdom. We often share prematurely because our ego craves validation, but wisdom isn't nourished by praise. It's proven in silence and practice. I recall learning meditation for the first time. After a single week, I found myself teaching friends about the deep power of stillness. But soon I realized I wasn't teaching, I was boasting, and that lesson humbled me. 6. The loneliness of awakening. When you awaken, you begin to see differently. Your eyes stop chasing what once dazzled you. You outgrow certain places and people, and yes, it can feel lonely. When I stopped going to parties every weekend and chose solitude instead, friends laughed, calling me boring. It hurt, until I realized my path was simply no longer theirs. 7. The temptation to explain yourself. That loneliness tempts you to explain yourself to prove you've changed. But silence teaches discipline. I once tried explaining to a close friend why I no longer argued back the way I used to. They didn't understand. Months later, they came back and said, I don't know what you're doing, but you seem lighter, freer. That's when I knew silence was proof enough. 8. Protecting sacred truths. Not everyone deserves access to your inner world. Not because they're unworthy, but because they may not be ready. I once shared a spiritual insight with someone who laughed and brushed it off. For weeks, I questioned myself. Looking back, I realized the insight wasn't wrong. It just wasn't meant for them yet. 9. Timing is everything. Wisdom shared at the wrong time can do more harm than good. It's like waking someone up in the middle of the night by shining a flashlight directly into their eyes. They don't thank you. They cover their face and push you away. 10. The energy of presence. When you embody truth, your very presence speaks. You don't have to explain it. I once met a woman who hardly spoke during our meeting, but her calm presence filled the room. By the end, I couldn't recall her exact words, only the peace she carried. That was the lesson. 11. Silence protects your vision. Your dreams, when spoken too soon, can be crushed by doubt and envy. Protect them until they are strong enough to stand on their own. I know someone who quietly worked on writing a book for years. No one knew until the day it was published. That book became a bestseller because she didn't allow doubt to poison the soil before the seed grew. 12. Silence versus social noise. We live in a noisy world where everyone is talking, posting, and proving. Real power, however, thrives in silence. I once deleted my social media for 30 days. At first, I felt invisible, but soon I felt stronger because I learned my life didn't need to be narrated to be real. 13. The quiet warrior. True strength is like the martial artist who doesn't brag. Their calmness is their weapon. In silence, they become untouchable. I watched a quiet man get mocked at work until one day his project solved a problem no one else could. He never defended himself with words. His work spoke for him. 14. The discipline of restraint. Restraint doesn't mean weakness. It means knowing when not to speak. I once stayed silent during a heated argument. It wasn't easy. My pride screamed for me to win the debate. But later, the same person told me, "Your calmness that day made me rethink everything." 15. Let your life be the proof. The most powerful people aren't the loudest. They are the ones whose actions and presence prove what words never could. A mentor once told me, "If you have to convince people of your growth, you haven't grown yet." At the time, I didn't understand. Now I do. The silent power. So the next time you discover something life-changing, resist the urge to announce it. Instead, live it. Protect it. Let it shape you until your silence itself begins to speak. Because the deepest wisdom does not need applause. It needs embodiment. This is the strength of stillness. This is silent power speak. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to be notified whenever a video is uploaded.